a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And welcome to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. We greatly appreciate you doing that. Thomas King's in the house, Florida Firearms Academy. We've got kids classes coming up and some other cool topics to talk about here on the program today. Also, want to invite you to our next Third Thursday event. It's coming up on April 18th. That's Thursday the 18th. Come on out and join us over at Brio Tuscan Grill. That's the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're going to have a networking party there. We call it our gratitude party, business mixer. Come out and meet some of our radio show personalities, as well as our team, our real estate team. All of our expert contributors will be there. Thursday, April 14th, save the date, 6 o'clock over at Brio Tuscan Grill. Wonderful ambiance, excellent food, and we're going to have food provided for you. Food will be provided, and there will be a cash bar available. Come on out and network with us on the 18th of April, Thursday, on our Third Thursday series, coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, our gratitude party. All right, we got a hot listing here at 5642 Egret's Place in Newport Richey. Part of our strategy is to feature our listings live on air, and we can help you sell your listings as well. If you have a property you're looking to sell, we feature our listings live on air, 80 outlets worldwide, maximizing the exposure and the profit on the sale of their real estate. So 5642 Egret's Place, Newport Richey, Mediterranean Palace, gorgeous property, gated community, 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath, 3,000 square foot, quarter-acre lot. You have a heated pool with a waterfall, beautiful pavers around it, fenced-in backyard, and water views across the street as well. Look at that open concept kitchen, the dining area, living area right there, open concept, beautiful property, 5642 Egret's Place, Newport Richey. And you can see all of our listings at PlatinumCoastalElite.com.
Yeah, I'm racing my class to those saving our ass overseas.
All right, Thomas King, welcome back, sir.
So good to be here, and I do got to give a shout-out. I know you talked about Razor Ranch and Larry and those guys over there. You had Ryan was helping us, and Colton. I always remember Colton because Gears of War, I don't know if you ever played that, but they had Colton on there. Pretty cool, the Cold Trains, what they called them. A great time, man. That place is amazing. They take you out in buggies and set you up in tree stands, and I don't. How many deers did we see that day?
Tons.
I mean, if I was hunting
exotic deer,
it would have been like a fish in a barrel, right? You could get whatever you wanted, exotic. Some of them were taller than me. They looked like horses.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck is this? This is like something Santa Claus would probably bring on his sled.
I thought I saw Donzer and Vixen and all of them out there.
That was amazing. And they let you hunt boar out there and all kinds of alligators and dinosaurs.
Well, he invited us back already. He said he wants us to come back out and go for a gator hunt.
So what did he say? What to bring for gators? I don't even know how you hunt a gator. Do you use
Marty was saying yesterday?
Or?
He was saying yesterday to do a 22
caliber. In the head and the eye. I saw that swamp show.
Yeah,
they go out there with like a bang stick or a little rifle and boop, right in the eyeball.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess you can get that close to them.
Yeah,
I don't really want to get that close to them though.
Nah, yeah.
I've seen them guys swim with them, and I always thought these guys are great. If it can eat me, I don't get near it.
Nah, yeah, that's a little too close for comfort there.
They're professionals.
Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy, in studio, longtime friend of the program. Again, support the local economy by supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show at consumerqb.com. All of our expert contributors are listed there as well. And you do lots of classes. You got a kid safety class coming up too. I think that's a really cool.
We're bringing it back. We were trying to do this whole thing with our attorneys and with the state and everything to let us do this every week. But for right now, we're just going to put it out once or twice a month, but it is free so that it comes with an instructor, the classroom, the range fees, the targets, the eyes and ear protection, the firearm, the ammo, and you get a certificate. But the most important thing we go over is if you come across a firearm, what do you do? Who do you tell? All these good things. And the kids figure it out for themselves. Wow, this is nothing like the movies or video games. They realize that this is real life. They get to shoot a firearm. It's ages 7 to 17. And I started when I was 5. We all shot 22s. My little niece at 22 was shooting 22s out there. It's a lot of fun, though, and they really get to get the education of how to hold, load, aim, and shoot a firearm. But right now, we're seeing this influx of so many people, and I'm telling you, mostly women are coming in now because, the elections are coming up. And with the elections coming up, I mean, it's going to be a crap show. It doesn't matter who's going to win. Whatever side wins, it doesn't matter. There's going to be chaos, and everyone knows it, and civil unrest. So people are actually preparing. We're hoping we don't see this in Florida. We didn't really get a mad rush of it here in Florida, but we had some. Right down by Marty's house, my vice president, they burnt down the gas stations and stuff like that. So, you know, it does happen. So you just want to make sure you're prepared, and that's what we're seeing. Many people coming in, getting a firearm, learning how to use it for safety and protection reasons only, if they have to use it to protect their family or themselves or their kids.
Yeah, it's super important now more than ever. You see things happening all the time. You see things in the news, the civil unrest. And yes, it is an election year, so anything can happen. We saw what happened with the last elections, and you know, you can feel it. You can have a sense of there may be something that happened. So it's one of those things that why wouldn't you? You know, why wouldn't you have prepare for yourself, prepare for your family, and you've got to take care of the family, especially as the male figure in the household. You've got to be the one standing up, taking action if needed. Of course, we're not saying to do anything out of the ordinary and be the aggressor. But look, if something were to happen and land on your front porch, you definitely want to do that.
That's why we have classes we have one of the instructors. It's an officer and he's an attorney. So he's going to let you know exactly what you can and cannot do by law and what they're going to be looking for to get you out there. But before all this, there was a time where if you stole something, they'd cut your hands off, right? If you did something bad, they'd hang you. And no one did it anymore, right? But now if you do something wrong, they like this recently in New York, they let that person go that just beat those people and let them go. And there's no more repercussions. So that's why you're seeing such an influx of crime, robbery. Oh, yeah, he stole something, just let him go. It was under $4 million. Oh, good. Yeah, he's good. Let him go. So there's any more repercussions anymore. That's why if you really you stole something, they cut your hands off, I bet you people wouldn't do it anymore. Yeah.
There's, what's interesting too is we do feel like we are somewhat insulated here in Florida. But this morning I always listen to this podcast, Daily Wire, in the mornings. It's called Morning Wire, and it had a report. I meant to play the clip on the show, but there's a report about they're flying in from Venezuela, all the different South American countries. The Biden administration is flying people. The number one state they're bringing them to is Florida, and I didn't realize that. It's the numbers into 300,000. So
we're not even a sanctuary city.
There's pockets, right? There's pockets of these people being sent here, direct flights, and it's something about their passport or their probate, something or other. Parole program. But yeah, they're coming to Florida too. Program. There's something.
Yeah, I can imagine. I just heard the senator was just talking about they brought over 300,000 people on a plane under our money to 40 different airports, and they won't list which airports that they did go to.
Yep.
But these people are the ones causing the crimes right now.
Yeah, exactly. And gang activities up, as President Trump talked about. Thomas King here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, Florida Firearms Academy. Great location right there in Oldsmar area. What's the actual physical location?
So we are just east of the Oldsmar Flea Market. We are at 13317 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa. And if you can look at our Facebook page or our webpage is ffatampa.com.
ffatampa.com, and I'm glad you kind of kicked it back to the old school with that reference to stealing, cutting off the hands, the whole thing, because I do have a clip I wanted to play. I wanted to get to this. I thought this was really interesting. I think this might have been from the Charlie Kirk show, but check this out. It's the way that government is able to take away rights and where that might lead. Listen to this throwback.
From now on, whenever you bring on
Nope, that's it.
One of the chapters in my book is called America Needs More Blacksmiths. And that might seem like an unusual title, but the strategy of the Philistines when they went in and conquered Israel was to remove all the blacksmiths. Now Israel could not make weapons of war, no swords, no spears, nothing. But it was even worse than that because they had to go to the Philistines to have their agricultural tools sharpened. So they were totally dependent on a foreign government. That's exactly what's happening here in America. And if you take away our weapons, meaning free speech, our Constitution, you take those away, and then you force us to get everything from you, become government.
Sound familiar, Thomas?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's terrifying to me how we've gone from civilization. Of course, we've been more civil. Like, let's just take slavery, right? When slavery was a thing, there was a war that happened, and you know what? We freed the slaves. Awesome, great news, right?
Yep.
But it was never really you freed the slaves. Instead of them living, and some of them lived fantastically. Some of them were beaten, and it was horrible.
Right.
But some of them lived like they were part of the family, and they said, hey, you know what? You live here, you help out with the house and the ranch and whatever we need to do. But now, okay, slavery's done. Now they had to do it civilly. So now you have to pay to live here at my house. You're going to have to pay for your meals. So it's a job for you. Do you want this job? And they're like, yes, yeah, well, we've been working here for years. Okay, but now you have to earn money to pay to live here, pay for your food, pay for your clothing, all that. And it was the same exact thing. There was just, they didn't do anything except they got money. So now it's like, so what they called it more civil. But it was still slavery. If you don't want to do what you're going to do, if you want to start your own thing, the freedoms that we have now is getting taken away.
Right.
How are you going to start your own business? How are you going to do what all these things are? You know, capitalism, fantastic. You got to make your own money. But when they made their money, they made enough money to pay their rent, made enough money to make their food, and some money to keep their clothing. Now, some of them did give a little bit more, and some gave just enough to, hey, it's the same exact deal. So we're always being tricked. It just doesn't matter. Every time you go down the timeline, that's just how we're trained and programmed our brain.
Yeah, exactly. And folks, what I would do is go to Florida Firearms Academy, find them on Facebook, and subscribe to the channel, like the page, because they have a lot of awesome events, helping a lot of charitable organizations, and also have some really cool giveaways. Thomas, talk a little bit about your social presence.
So what we're doing right now, actually, we're doing 3 raffles. That's me putting up firearms, giving them away, money out of our pocket, but the FOP, that's Fraternal Order of Police, the money raised for this 1911 Colt that we're giving away is going to all the fallen officers' families, because they don't get, you know, they're not helped out by the government and taken care of for life, so we have to step up and do it. There's also another one for the Kiwanis we're doing. There's one for our old armorer that used to work there, Marshall. His whole house burnt down, so of course we're going to hook him up. And the last one is Nick. He's running for judge for Pinellas. We'll give you more information on that for Pinellas and Pasco. So when I endorse someone, I hope you follow them, because this person is honest, true, and ready to go. So they're doing the right thing for the people. It doesn't matter what side they're on. They're doing the right thing and being honest for the people, keeping it real.
Yeah, that's it. And we got to protect our right to carry, protect our right to free speech. And if you don't have one, you don't have the other in a lot of cases. Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy, kids classes, safety classes, a very friendly staff. You can go in there and ask pretty much any question related to guns and ammo and shooting, and somebody in there is going to know the right answer.
That's what we're trained for.
You got years of knowledge.
Right, 20 different people, different instructors, so you can pick who you want, 40 different types of classes at any different level. And we just had last week a guy in his 80s just became a grandmaster shooter. And that almost put a tear to my eye, because that's all this guy wanted to do. He started from the beginning, and now he's a grandmaster shooter. Draws out, shoots 4 shots center mass in under 1 second, had to pass all the other things, and I was just so excited for him to get his big trophy, big plaque. He's just a tear to my eye, man.
I love that. Yeah, so it's not just self-defense, it's also sport. There's lots of sports related to gun ownership. And did you see that video? I think Alex actually sent me the video on Instagram. It was through the messaging app, but it was this guy, he dressed like it was an all brown suit. It looked like a UPS delivery, and he actually even steps back and takes a picture.
That guy played the whole part.
And then he asks a question or something. The lady opens the door, and then all of his boys come from around the corner. 4 or 5 or 6 of them come busting through the door.
Yes.
So just think about that. If you didn't have, a weapon in the house or something like that, people getting tied up, and other stories in Miami I hear about. You've got to be prepared, Thomas. Take the last minute or so.
I'm glad that people share that. Share that video with your wife and your kids to show that is real. These people are playing the part just to get you to crack open that door. And as soon as you do, they got you. Do not open that door. Sorry, I don't open the door. Unless it's an officer showing you a badge and credentials, do not open your door for anyone until someone else is there with a firearm to protect you. But we will be closed on this April the 20th. At 6 p.m. and then all day Sunday, because it's our company outing. I take all our employees out. This year we're gonna go do a whole 2-day fishing trip or something. So
nice.
We gotta blow off some steam too, have some fun, and it always brings up morale and makes give back to your employees. Please do that. If you're an employer, always make sure that they're taken care of. You're not the boss. Believe me, you can't run your business without those people, so don't quit acting like you're the boss. Believe me, take care of them. You'll be much happier, and so will your employees.
Yep, absolutely. All right, Thomas King, longtime friend of the show. Support the local economy. Contact Florida Firearms Academy online at ffatampa.com, ffatampa.com. Thomas, thanks for coming in.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right, taking a quick break. Coming back, we're going to talk about stress relief. Stress is the #1 killer. If you haven't heard that, I'm sure you have. Stress is the #1 killer. We're going to talk about with Christina Carter coming up, divine balance, alternative healing and massage, stress relief, and health here coming up on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show.